So, bringing nature-based solution into the financial market. So the last presentation, my name is Yves Carnazzola. I'm a co-founder and CEO of AxessImpact. AxessImpact is a collective action. In a sense, how we built AxessImpact is with existing company in different domain expertise. And we'll see why we needed first the infrastructure, the technology, and we use an eco-blockchain. It's important to define the eco-blockchain more, as Irina have written there, discussed, to have the full transparency more than the tokenization. We were also needed to have the capacity to follow data on IoT and machine learning. So we have also started with partners like that. And we also needed regulated investment, a regulated product investment. So what exactly is AxessImpact? Is a platform. It's a multi-stakeholder platform, a multi-protocol platform, and it allows a disintermediation of solution to tackle wicked problem. And we have the ability of the scalability, and we will see on what stance it's scalable. So why we decided to create AxessImpact and why we gather all together to create this platform is because there was a lack of trust and confidence and traceability. What we wanted is to avoid the double spending and the double claiming and the greenwashing. At the beginning, it was for the carbon market. We were asked to resolve that issue in the carbon market, but soon we saw that the nature-based solution was much more holistic and was more focused on that's it. Why we wanted is to have all the co-benefits and the integration inside the blockchain. So the second part of the discussion was how we can integrate early-stage investor to fulfill the financing gap, and how we can onboard asset manager on the platform at early stage. The other part is how we can create the private-public partnership to create blended financial instrument. When we say blended financial instrument, it's not AxessImpact that created, but we can onboard this type of investment. And the scalability is how we can have the scalability, temporal scalability, spatial scalability, and solution scalability. So in a sense, we can onboard different type of project, and there is a lot of scalability in this model. So the what, as mentioned, a strong focus on nature-based solution. And as we start from scratch from a project, we have all the metrics to integrate with the baseline, all the SDG, and all the other co-benefits like biodiversity. What we saw when we started that there is also other projects that are interested to be on board. So we are now working with circular economy, renewable energies, shipping industry. The how, as mentioned, a multi-protocol, multi-stakeholder, a marketplace, and I think what we are working now is interoperability between blockchain solution, between exchange when we want to sell the certification of carbon, biodiversity, of SDG tomorrow, and the connection of different providers of data and machine learning. So how we built AxessImpact? We built what we call the 3M process: measurement, monitoring, and monetization. So AxessImpact is a designer. So we design and we are the key allocator with the project owner. The project owner could decide the stakeholder necessary from the local community, from the government, from the data management system, from all the external audit, the scientific committee, and of course the investor. Will see that investors are very early stage in the process. We put together the governance at the data infrastructure level, at the revenue sharing model, and of course at the interoperability model. Then we have the ability to have a dynamic monitoring of the system. So in a sense, what we create is the trust from scratch. So investors are connected from the beginning to the protocol, and connected to the data from the blockchain. So for example, if we need early stage information, data baseline analysis of for example, local community, it's integrated in the blockchain and connected in the investment vehicle. And then we can monitor the creation of the value chain of impact, reducing the asymmetry of information, and creating the revenue sharing model. At some point, the revenue is, the standard is created, or the protocol creating the value chain of impact is validated by the third party, and we can have a revenue sharing from an expert. For example, a credit carbon. It could be tokenized, like we just saw before, but it could be also burned by an emitter that will be also on board on the project. One of the key factors that we decided is when now we are working on the dashboard for the asset manager. The asset manager can decide at what time of the early stage of the project it can come. So at the beginning, there is a high cone of uncertainty, and it can decide to be involved at this stage, but with the full transparency of the model. At some point, there is less uncertainty. Maybe it's a forward. If we talk about credit carbon, it has been homologated. Then it can fulfill also to see that. And at some point, it's a more fungible product, and other type of investor can come. So now there is interest from asset managers that have green bond or other type of product to start to see how they can integrate result-based incentive and with true data and measurement about how to create a new investment product. And that's where we are. So what's the next step? The next step is there is the 3 dimension we are working now. Of course, it's a new company. So onboarding new innovative NBS and SDG project to see how it's eligible, how we can create the value chain of impact together. Onboarding asset manager, we have already onboarded a few, but one we already created a financial product connected to the blockchain from scratch. And we are also developing the security on the dashboard for the asset managers that will be fully scalable, and it will be a project for the first quarter of next year.
Thank you very much, Yves.